Hey, Kelly,
Hi.
are you gonna be able to make me co-host tonight?
Yes, let me try that.
Now that we figured out what the problem was?
Yay. Okay. Did it give you some kind of alert or anything?
Yeah, it did. Very good.
It only took us 27 meetings to figure it out.
We got it figured out. That's the main part. All righty. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Greetings, everybody. I think we got a moment or two while everyone files in before we get kicked off here, but I appreciate everyone joining us, and we'll get started here in the next minute or two. All right, y'all. In the interest of everyone's time, I will go ahead and get rolling here. I appreciate everyone joining us tonight for the September Transportation Penny Advisory Committee meeting. With our attendance, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order, and I apologize. I'm looking at the ad hoc agenda instead of the TPAC agenda, so make it a little bit easier on us here. With that, though, I would like to open up the floor to public comment. Kelly or Allison, have y'all heard anyone who'd like to comment publicly at the meeting today? I'm seeing a note from Allison.
No, we received no comments.
Okay, and I'd also like to extend the floor to any of our elected representatives or administrators who would have any comments for the group before we get started here. And of course, y'all's input is welcome and encouraged throughout the meeting as well, if there's anything y'all would like to discuss. But Councilman Walker, I appreciate you joining us, and Councilwoman English, I appreciate you joining us as well. And Administrator Brown, thank you for being here too. Well, very good. Not hearing any public comment, we can move right on into the Office of Small Business Opportunity. I know we usually see Erica here, but I see Pam, is that going to be you tonight?
That will be me this evening. So good afternoon or good evening to everyone. Excited to report the things that are going on in the office. I think from our last meeting in July, we've actually been able to increase our SLBEs. So we've moved from 95 SLBEs to 101. We've got 8 pending certifications. So we're continuing to work towards our number. Our goal was 60 for the year, well, by the end of the year. We also had our September 8th Engage Richland event, which was centered around crisis planning. The event went really, really well. We had to actually end up going virtual, but we had about 60 in attendance. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback as far as the information being very timely and very useful, since it centered around crisis proofing your business, being able to pivot during and after a disaster, and how to get financials in order, especially with the impending COVID-19 relief grants that'll be coming down the pipe. And speaking about the COVID-19 relief fundings, we are trying to get in front of the rollout for the funding by offering workshops across the county. And we've already put those things out there. So we've started receiving registrations, and we're in select 4 areas right now. And it's merely to talk about eligibility requirements and documentation that will be required for the funding. Also, we are continuing to work with departments within the county. So we are scheduling meetings with the departments to really talk about OSPO, our mission, our goals, the services that we provide, and maybe ways that we can utilize our SLBEs, and understanding the policies and procedures with each of the departments. So everything seems to be trucking along with the overall goals for us. So we're just looking for even more positive results. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Green. Any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise for OSBO? Very good. Hearing none. I appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
With that, we can move on to the transportation program. Ms. Steele, anything new?
Yeah, just a little bit, not a ton of new stuff. Just to update you on something I mentioned last month, we had a couple of candidates for one of our vacant PM positions. It was our 5th position that had never been filled. We narrowed it down and made an offer to one, and he's accepted. So Michael Green will be our new PM starting October 11th. This will be really helpful for us. We've been short-staffed. We've had another PM that's been on a leave of absence for about a month and a half now. So this will be a huge help to us. Looking at upcoming committee for tomorrow, we've got 4 items on the agenda. The Clemson Road Phase 1 sidewalk additional contingency. When the PDT advertised this project originally and got approval from council, they only added in a 10% contingency. We have found out during construction that the plans were missing. They missed several items. That right now we have a pending a $40-something thousand change order that's about 16,000 over our current contingency amount. So we're going to have to go back to council and request an additional contingency to cover this and to cover any other items that may pop up through the end of construction. So that will be the first item tomorrow. Our second item will just be to recommend award of construction contract to, I believe this is, don't quote me, I can't remember the contractor at this time, but it's to award Dirt Road Package L This has 3 dirt roads in it. So that will be a good one to get started. I'm going to come back to Lower Richland Boulevard, widening rescope. And our 4th item will be a mitigation credit sales for an Encompass Health Rehabilitation Hospital. So let me go back to the Lower Richland Boulevard widening rescope. This is the last big project we had that we did not get to complete a rescope on when we did our overall reevaluation. We were waiting on a traffic study update for the gas station that was just installed at the intersection of Garnier Ferry and Lower Richland. We've got that back. Our engineer has made several recommendations for us. We have 4 options, and tomorrow we'll be presenting the option that staff recommends moving forward with. And what this will include will be widening the road to 5 lanes between Garner's Ferry and the sheriff's substation right at the high school right there. And then widening to 3 lanes from the sheriff's substation up to Rabbit Run Road. And then it will also include installing a roundabout at the intersection of Lower Richland Boulevard and Rabbit Run. So it'll be a really good project. We're hoping that council will give us the green light so we can go ahead and get back on design on that one, finalizing design. The other option they gave us was to just widen a full 5 lane all the way from Rabbit Run to Garner's Ferry. The traffic study didn't really support that, but we did want to give council that option in case they wanted to go with it. The intersection of Lower Richland Boulevard and Rabbit Run, it warranted a traffic signal or a roundabout. Typically roundabouts are more expensive, but in this case, the roundabout with the current right-of-way is going to be a cheaper option. And we believe traffic's just going to flow a lot smoother with it. So that will be our proposal to council, and that's what's going to be in the committee agenda tomorrow.
And is that alternative 3? Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha.
That's correct. Okay, so on the pre-construction or design updates, again, I'm not going to run through all of these, but some of the highlights I wanted to touch on is the Blythewood Road widening project. We have gotten all the right-of-way except for 4 parcels now. We've given our attorney the green light to move forward with these parcels. 2 of them are pretty close, our offer and their counter offer, that we think we can go ahead and get this negotiated and settled. 2 of them, we have pretty large differences, so we believe those are going to be moving to condemnation. So once we do that filing of the condemnation, we'll be able to move forward with construction. The only other remaining item on that is to get the water relocation with the town of Winsboro ironed out. We have had a really difficult time getting in touch with them. Probably over the last 2 months, our utility coordinator has been reaching out to them once a week, and we just have not been able to get a response back. So that is our final holdup on that project. So hopefully by next month, I'll have a better update for you on that one. Garnier Ferry Harman intersection, I did have down that we were waiting on Segra. We had a difficult time getting in touch with them. That was the final utility coordination we needed for that project. Otherwise, that one's ready to go. Just got an update yesterday that we finally got notification from them that they're working on the relocation plans. So hopefully we will have that and be able to get that one advertised in the next month. So that'll be a good one to get moving. Spears Creek Church Road widening, we do have a public input meeting scheduled for October 14th. You should have seen it on our social media website. We did mail out flyers to all of the businesses and HOAs in the area. So we hope we'll get a good turnout. It is going to be in person at Pontiac Elementary School. But just in case COVID throws a wrench in those plans, we have a backup. We have council chambers scheduled to do a virtual meeting if we need to. And one update for North Main Street construction. We have hit an issue at the intersection of North Main and Monticello where we milled up the existing asphalt and underneath was a layer of concrete that is just in really bad shape. And it is adding about $400,000 to our project that we didn't anticipate. So we have submitted a request to CTC to get funding to cover that. I'm waiting to hear back on what meeting that's going to make it to. We unfortunately did not make it for tomorrow's CTC agenda. But as soon as we get that nailed down, I'll let this committee know. Otherwise, everything else is pretty basic and laid out in our update. If you have any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Any questions from anybody? I've got a couple, but I'll let y'all jump in first if you have anything. I'll jump in then. So the mitigation sale, did I see right? That was like almost $19,000 a credit. And is that consistent with what y'all have seen in the past, or you think y'all are getting a good price? It's a better price than I've seen recently.
That I don't have a lot of information on. We usually rely on Quentin Epps, our conservation director, to provide that kind of information. I do see Mike Maloney, our interim director, on here. He may be able to provide some information. Mike, are you there?
Yes, Allison, we'll reach out to Mr. Epps on that and provide feedback on and the question is regarding the unit price, sir?
Yes, sir. The price per credit. I think the last set that y'all did was closer to 15,000. So that's an improvement, and certainly see that value in those credits as y'all continue to dole them out. I just know that they're hard to come by, and there certainly should be a premium on them. And so I'm glad that y'all are realizing that value there. Were y'all able to work out the hold up with Dominion there at Bull and Elmwood to get that piece advanced?
We did get a response back from DOT on where they would like Bull relocated. Dominion has agreed that they believe they can make that relocation work. We actually have a site visit in the morning, and I believe 10 a.m. just to do one final double check with Dominion to make sure they can work. We're going to make sure they can make it work, and then we'll get those plans updated, and then that project will be ready to advertise as well.
Very good. And then I see that y'all have Mayor Walker joining you for a presentation at Ad Hoc tomorrow. Is that by chance about the Broad River Road widening project, or do those need to be separate items? I guess I'm asking about the progress of the Broad River widening, and I'm curious whether Mayor Walker's presentation has to do with that.
All right. I'm not really sure what the presentation is. Mr. Brown is on the line. He may be able to give an update. I did see it on the agenda, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so the mayor, he may talk about that. I'm not sure about the details, but as he requested to talk to the committee about some transportation in Irmo, we want to give him that opportunity. So we'll know more about it on tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. And is that going to be something that we'll be able to tune in for Ad Hoc online?
Yes, so you should be able to tune in online.
Okay, great. And so then has any, I guess, progress been made with rescoping on the Broad River widening project?
It has. We had to do some coordination with DOT since that project's been going on for a while. It had started out being designed under an older set of design standards, but since then DOT has updated their standards. So they've requested that we start designing to the new standards. So it may change some things, and it may impact our footprint a little bit. It may require a little bit of right of way that we weren't anticipating. But we do have a final answer on which design standards to use, and we've provided that to our OT so that they can start back design.
Okay, great. And then I think the last question I have was about the transportation director position and whether council had taken up that item so that we could, I guess, solicit for applicants for that position. And that may be Mr. Brown or Mr. Maloney who would need to answer that one.
I can answer that question. So council has not taken up that item. What you're referencing was some information that we were going to ask council to change within the director position that they have listed. I am going to go ahead and post that position with the preference that I've already communicated for an engineer. And then we'll just still deal with council in the future on addressing amendments to the ordinance. So that way it will be clear and that nobody will have any heartburn between administrative action and council ordinances that are written.
Great. Clean. Sounds awesome. Okay. That is, I'm sorry, one last thing for you, Allison. I noticed our last progress report was from June. Do we have a July to be posted here soon online?
We do. Kelly, do you know when that one was posted to the website?
Yes, it should be posted by tomorrow.
Okay.
Great.
And then August will follow pretty soon behind it, or is that just kind of the pace? I guess we're staggered a little bit. I'm just always have trouble remembering exactly how.
A little bit. Yeah.
I'll double
We usually
check.
get
They should
our,
actually be posting both, yeah, by tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That sounds perfect. So, and I didn't check the public meetings page to see if that meeting at Spears Creek is up there, but
It is.
let's check and make sure. Awesome, beautiful.
Yeah. And I'm not sure about the general county public meeting page, but it is under the transportation department public information page. And we do have links to our handout, flyers and displays if anyone wants to look at them ahead of time.
Oh, great. Awesome. Very good. That is all I have for the transportation program, unless anyone has anything else. Seeing none. Thank you much, Allison.
Thank you.
And with that, we can move into our next part of the agenda, Mr. Harris, and the update on the comment. Eric, see you're on the line. Okay, here we go.
All right. How's it going, y'all? All right. So just hopping right in. So we did complete our op stats report and submitted that to SCDOT. We met with the Coalition of Downtown Neighborhoods to discuss ongoing projects, Lucius and River, Reimagine the Comet, and just providing them with updates of where we are. We're still working through some things to this very moment. We're still improving our on-time performance through a module provided by a company named Swiftly. And that's going pretty well. We have a shipment of bus stop amenities arriving on October 15th. I think it was last reported September 15th. So just one small correction there. The low-no grant that we mentioned before. So yes, we did receive funding for 2 electric buses and 2 hydrogen fuel cell buses. We have reached out to Proterra and New Flyer and some more vendors, and we haven't proceeded on committing to any company up to this point, but we have been in contact with vendors to try to figure out which direction we want to go in order to move forward. As far as ridership goes, I'm actually going to defer my presentation to the service route analysis. Hopefully everyone had an opportunity to take a look. It was extracted directly from our board packet. So we're still going through the document to make sure we just clean it up a bit. But it was definitely necessary for me to bring it here to the community to let you know where we are. In the report, we generated a comprehensive overview of our system performance. The document is broken down into multiple segments, but the most useful will probably be the service route rankings and the service route profiles. The rankings are aggregated by ridership by part of 3/4 mile radius along the route. So in other words, the rankings are based on the percentage of population served. And so still to this day, the 3-digit routes are still performing at the top. And that is Route 101. That's our #1 route. And that's North Main. 501 is 2 Notch. 801 Broad River. 701 Forest Drive. 401 Devine. 301 Farrow Road. 45 Leesburg Hazelwood. 75 is Decker and Park Lane. And the 9th route is the 12, which is Edgewood. And the 10th ranked route is the 6th, and that's the Enclair route. At the bottom of the list, which is in some ways to be expected, just looking at trends and when service was, I guess we reopened service for some of these service routes. At the very bottom, we have 44X Lower Richland Express route, 93X, I-26 that's going towards Chapin, 76 is Fort Jackson. That's one of those routes that was delayed and returning service. 57L is Killian and Clemson local route. Hardin Street which is Route 22. And we suspect that that route should return back to, I guess, a level of normalcy at some point. But that's just like the pros and the cons, I guess, looking at the top rank and the bottom ranked routes there. Overall, though, as a system, 23% of the routes increased in ridership. And what we did, we tried to generate an analysis that will project what we believe service levels will be at the end of this fiscal year. And so we have an aggressive prediction of 40% increase in ridership contingent upon the implementation of Reimagine the Comet, and increased service reliability, marketing strategies, and the reduction of COVID-19 restrictions. Our moderate prediction is 30% increase in, we have a 30% increase in ridership contingent upon the implementation of Reimagine the Comet and the reduction of COVID-19 restrictions. And our low prediction would be a 20% increase in ridership contingent upon COVID-19 restrictions only. So that's where we are as of now. But again, I definitely highly recommend taking a look at the service route profiles. You can see where we are and how the service has done over the course of time, and I guess the trajectory of it returning back to normal at some point within our current fiscal year. Outside of that, that is a high level overview of where we are as the Comet. I'm open to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. And yeah, buried in our agenda, and I won't say buried because it is the bulk of the agenda, that 100-page document is that report. Very comprehensive, a lot to glean from that. So thank you for sharing that very much. I'm just curious with the funding that we were talking about. I didn't know that hydrogen was part of that mix as well. Are y'all planning to produce your hydrogen on site, or are you going to have it shipped? Have you had a chance to explore that at all? Because I know that's a stickler.
Oh yeah, not as of yet, but that is a very good question. That's something else that we have to sort through before we try to commit to that style of a bus. So yeah, it's something, again, we're excited about it, but it is something that we are hoping that once we get the new executive director in, we can sort through that and come up with a definitive plan.
Absolutely, and I'd encourage y'all to reach out to the City of Columbia as well, since they own a hydrogen fueling station that's maybe in a bit of disrepair at the moment, but could probably be brought back online for a reasonable cost. Very good. Do y'all have any other questions for Eric and the Comet?
I did have one. Eric, I was just kind of flipping through, and I'm always interested in the soda cap connector. I was noticing that between the soda cap connector 1 and 2, the fiscal year 21, the drop off was really significant for the connector 2. And I was just kind of curious what happened there.
Yep. So what you start to see, let me just pull it up here. Yeah, so going from, you're saying going from FY20 to FY21?
Yeah, I mean, I expected it to go down, just like the rest of them did, but so does connector 1 did not go down near as much as connector 2 did.
Absolutely. So it was part by the suspension of service. So okay. That was the rationale behind that.
Okay.
Yep. Very good question.
Has that resumed now?
That has. So we're at a standstill right now with soda cap. Yes, 2 with soda cap 2. So we're still at a standstill. And how we want to bring back service now that U of SC is back in school, and just trying to see how the population just starts to trend. But it has been on the table for discussion for the net service change.
Okay. Well, have y'all been pleased with the Sager Park to Hampton and Maine service?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, thank you.
It's a great partnership. Yep, thank you.
How have those U of SC routes been running so far this year? Are we seeing good ridership on them?
Oh yeah. So they took a huge uptick in student population. I think the last report was about 15% increase. But I mean, trust me, we're overwhelmed at a certain extent. Route 20 is the most popular route as of right now. And their game day shuttle is back up and running. So we're starting to see a lot of people come out, and I guess because they were shut down the previous year, so we're seeing more people want to go to the games. So every route is literally just jam packed on Saturday. So we're excited about that service as well. But we're using this semester again to try to monitor where we are, see if we can improve the routes, on-time performance, how we generate the schedules. And even the game day shuttle, just figuring out what works, going forward now that we are now looking at a full campus. It was September 1st last year when we began, when we went up under contract with U of SC. So this is our second go round as of right now, but obviously we started in the pandemic. So we're hoping to see what those numbers look like at the end of this semester, and hopes that we can make some subtle changes come January.
Very good. Sounds promising. Just seeing the ridership is always encouraging. So that's great news.
Oh.
Very good. Anything else for Eric here before we move on to other businesses?
Eric, quick question, Chris Kiefer from Richland County. Are y'all going to run a shuttle again for the state fair like you did 2 years ago?
Yes. I mean, if no one has reached out as of late in regards to the fair, but yeah, we are always open to do that. We recently did a Chapin shuttle for a festival just a few months ago. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty well used the 1 year, 2 years ago. I used it. I liked it. Thanks.
Oh yeah, it's great to bring it back. Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're doing the drive-through fair this year. We're doing full fair. If it's drive-through, it might be tough to get them to stop at the Frisker Fries and the corn dog spot and everything else all in one ride. So that might be tough. But either way, yeah, absolutely use those popular services as much as we can. Very good. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you. Very good. Well, with that, we can move down the agenda into other business. I see that we have our next scheduled meeting October 25th. Taking a look at the calendar a moment ago, I didn't see any glaring conflicts, and so I think that date will be good. I guess we probably need to plan to continue virtually for the time being, but maybe by November or December we'll see what happens. I keep crossing my fingers and hoping we can hang out in person, but that does not appear to be the case, at least for October. So we'll stay the course here virtually. This is certainly convenient, right next to my dinner spot, so it works out. And also another business, we do have some new TPAC members. And so I'd like to welcome Mr. John Black and Mr. Connor Parker, appointed by the City of Columbia to the Transportation Penny Advisory Committee. Y'all, I appreciate you joining us today on a fairly short notice, since y'all were just appointed last Tuesday. We continue to staff up. I hear that there is interest out there in this committee, and so we just need to find those folks and get them plugged in with Richland County. We have, excuse me, let me go ahead and pull up my list here. I believe 4 to 5 open positions from Richland County. We also have a little bit of clarity, I think, on the bylaws of the committee, that we are all appointed to 5-year terms, which is helpful information. So Kelly, thank you very much for helping me sort through this. It's been very helpful. And then I also want to thank Philip for what may be his last meeting with the Transportation Penny program, since the City of Columbia is now fully staffed on the committee. Philip feels it's a good time to step a little bit further back. Of course, you are always welcome to join us. We hope that you'll be a public commenter one of these days.
Yeah, maybe I'll sign up and speak my mind for a little bit.
Absolutely. We get crickets every time, none of the responsibility, all the fun. So
Yeah.
Welcome you back anytime, Philip.
Yeah, now I will say, it's been a little over almost 6 years now, but I definitely feel like it's in good hands, and look forward to everything you are going to do in the future.
Thank you, sir. So we will continue to work to staff this committee the rest of the way out, and look towards, as the bylaws dictate, having a vote to elect chair, vice chair, and secretary at the first meeting at the beginning of the year. So appointees will continue to talk about that as we near that time. But with that, and I do again want to offer the opportunity for anyone else to speak. If there's anything else y'all have questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise for the good of the group, I'd like to offer this opportunity for y'all to speak up now before we adjourn for the month. Very good. Having not heard anything, y'all, I appreciate your time very much. We can adjourn for the month of September, and I look forward to talking to all of y'all in October. All right. Please reach out to me with anything in the interim. Thank y'all.
Thank you.